It's Patrick Hutzel from IntensiveCareHotline.com, where we instantly improve the lives for families of critically ill patients in intensive care so that you can make informed decisions, have peace of mind, real power, real control, and so that you can influence decision making fast, even if you're not a doctor or a nurse in intensive care. This is another episode of Your Questions Answered, and in last week's episode I answered another question from one of our readers. And the question last week was, my mum has ventilator-associated pneumonia and is on the ventilator in intensive care. I don't want her to have a tracheostomy. Will she be coping extubated and on BiPAP? You can check out last week's episode by clicking on the link below this video. In this week's episode of Your Questions Answered, I want to answer another question from one of my clients, which is an excerpt from a one-on-one phone counseling and consulting session with me. And the question this week is another case study. My 77-year-old dad has been in ICU ventilated for a week and he's not waking up. The doctors have made him NFR, which stands for not for resuscitation, without my consent, and they want to switch off the ventilator. Help! And that is part 1 of this case study. This example is another great case study where you can see how I can help a very concerned and very distressed client, how to quickly make sense in a situation where the intensive care team hasn't been open and transparent with her and her family. As a matter of fact, the intensive care team threatened to take her dad off the ventilator by a certain date without my client's consent. It's also another great case study to show families in intensive care that you simply don't know what you don't know, and that you getting informed quickly so that you can turn the dynamics in your favor is absolutely crucial. If you do what 99% of the families of critically ill patients in intensive care are doing, you won't do your own research and you will just silently nod off everything the intensive care team is telling you, and you will continue to be intimidated by the perceived power and the perceived authority of the intensive care team. If you do that, you will not be able to make informed decisions, get peace of mind, control, power, and influence ever. As a matter of fact, if you don't ask the right questions and if you are not arming yourself with crucial insider and behind-the-scenes knowledge, your critically ill loved one and your family are doomed. In this case study with my client in Nisa, you can see that only in one phone conversation I can empower her and show her what questions she needs to ask, and I can also show her what information the intensive care team has been withholding and even hiding. It's also another great case study how to counteract the negativity of the intensive care team if you only know what questions you need to ask and if you can interpret information correctly and quickly. The number one complaint we're getting from families in intensive care is that intensive care teams are negative. We know that, and in our hundreds of Your Questions Answered episodes and case studies that we have hundreds of, we always show our clients how to stay positive and how to position your critically ill loved ones' diagnosis, their prognosis, as well as their care and their treatment in a light that doesn't allow intensive care teams to be negative. So enjoy the case study and enjoy the excerpt of this phone counseling and consulting session with me. What you got to do, if you are on our website, just scroll down and you can read the dialogue. If you are watching this on YouTube, please click on the link below this YouTube video. That'll get you to our website, and there you can read the dialogue. So thanks for tuning in. And how can you become the best advocate for your critically ill loved one? Make informed decisions, get peace of mind, control, power, and influence quickly whilst your loved one is critically ill in intensive care. You get to that all-important feeling of making informed decisions, get peace of mind, control, power, and influence quickly when you download your free instant impact report now by entering your email below. In your free instant impact report, you learn quickly how to make informed decisions, get peace of mind, real power and real control, and how you can influence decision making fast whilst your loved one is critically ill in intensive care. Your free instant impact report gives you in-depth insight that you must know whilst your loved one is critically ill or is even dying in intensive care. Sign up and download your free instant impact report now by entering your email below. In your free instant impact report, you learn how to speak the secret intensive care language so that the doctors and the nurses know straight away that you are an insider and that you know and understand what's really happening in intensive care. In your free report, you will also discover how to ask the doctors and the nurses the right questions, discover the many competing interests in intensive care and how your critically ill loved one's treatment may depend on those competing interests, how to eliminate fear, frustration, stress, struggle, and vulnerability even if your loved one is dying. You get 5 mind-blowing tips and strategies helping you to get on the right path to making informed decisions, get peace of mind, control, power, and influence in your situation. You'll get real-world examples that you can easily adapt to your and your critically ill loved one's situation. How to stop being intimidated by the intensive care team and how you will be seen as equals. You'll get crucial behind-the-scenes insight so that you know and understand what's really happening in intensive care and how you need to manage doctors and nurses in intensive care, and it's not what you think. Thank you for tuning into this week's Your Questions Answered episode, and I'll see you again next week in another update. Make sure you also check out our blog section for more tips and strategies, or send me an email to support@intensivecarehotline.com with your questions. Or you can call me, find international phone numbers on our contacts tab. Also, check out our ebook section where you get more ebooks, videos and audio recordings, and where you can also get one-on-one counseling and consulting with me via Skype over the phone or via email by clicking on the products tab. This is Patrick Hutzel from intensivecarehotline.com, and I'll see you again next week in another update.